Look at this. Somebody come look at this. Look at this. Somebody come and look at this.
Yo, peace and blessings. All praises, honor, and glory to the Most High for another day, another blessed day, another opportunity to get it right. Because tomorrow's not promised. The next minute, the next hour is not promised to anyone, except for if the Most High deems it. That is to the individual. I hope everybody's doing well today. I hope everybody's doing great. Shalom and blessings, Brother Josiah Israel. Shalom and blessings, Kenneth Walkerson. Shalom and blessings to me. Shalom and blessings, Sheila. I hope everybody's doing great today. It's another quick hitter that I got for you guys. Getting a little silly here with the intros. But I wanted to really conversate about just do a quick hitter with you guys on a certain scripture here that I want to share. And as I move forward in this short conversation, you understand why I'm talking about this particular scripture, because it's really the foundation to understanding certain things when we go into reading about the curses and about what happened to Israel. All right. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. I'm going to share this scripture with you so you can get a look at this here. Let me hide that. All right. So this is Leviticus chapter 25, verse 47. And the subtitle reads, Redeeming a Poor Man. All right. So it says, if a sojourner or stranger wax rich by thee, and thy brother that dwelleth by him wax poor, and sell himself unto the stranger or sojourner by thee, or to the stock of the stranger's family, after he is sold, he may be redeemed again. One of his brethren may redeem him, either his uncle or his uncle's son may redeem him, or any that is nigh of kin unto him of his family may redeem him. Or if he be able, he may redeem himself, and shall reckon with him that bought him from the year that he was sold to him unto the year of Jubilee. And the price of his sale should be according unto the number of years, according to the time of hired servant shall it be with him. If there be yet many years behind, according unto them he shall give again the price of his redemption out of the money that he was bought for. All right. And it says, and if there remain but a few years unto the year of Jubilee, then he shall count with him, and according unto his years shall he give him again the price of his redemption. And as a hired servant, and as a yearly hired servant, shall he be with him, and the other shall not rule with rigor over him in thy sight. And if he is not redeemed in these years, then he shall go out in the year of Jubilee, both he and his children with him. For unto me the children of Israel are servants. They are my servants, whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. I am the Most High. All right, so I just read the scriptures concerning redeeming a poor man out of his servitude. All right. This is the checks and balances that will go forth for one who has sold themselves or who was sold into servitude. Now I'm going to move forward to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And it says in Deuteronomy 28, verse 68, and the Most High shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Now, when one is reading this, to use reading comprehension and the understanding of Hebrew culture when it's concerning servitude or slavery, one has to understand when it says buy you that it is talking about redemption. Because what has already been said is that one has already been sold unto their enemies. So if one is already sold unto their enemies, the question of whether or not someone bought you or shall buy you, that isn't speaking of those who have already purchased you for servitude. This is speaking in the terms of redemption, a family member of yours buying you back or you buying yourself out of that servitude, which the scripture confirms and our history confirms that no man was able to purchase us out of our slavery. All right. Now, moving forward, why do I bring this up, and why did you see that silly picture of our brother Alton on there? Because Alton is a classic example of how Christians understand scripture. He's a classic example on how they would try to negate what is true in order to serve Eurocentric understandings of the Bible. All right? And I'm going to keep going at Christianity as long as we in this captivity, and maybe even afterwards when we go to war with these nations. You know, because this is a leading cause of the mental sickness within our people. You know, the doctrines within Christianity has not only caused our brothers and sisters to turn away from the law of the Most High and continue to stay away from the law of the Most High, but it's also contributed to a lot of things that have been degradation to our community, like the cowardice attitudes men have towards protecting our brothers and sisters and not cowardly down to the enemy when it comes for a call of justice. How many times have we seen brothers and sisters murdered at the hands of race soldiers and white supremacists, only to see the family members of those people stand before the media and say they forgive someone? All right. Now, let's move forward to something else. I'm going to share with you guys screenshots of a conversation that I had with our friend Alton. All right. And this was some time back. But since I'm doing these quick hitters, I think it would be great just to show these examples on how these people don't know what they're talking about when it comes to scripture. So I'm going to share this screenshot here with you. Now, originally the conversation started out with me asking a question, or not even asking a question, but this brother right here going back and forth with Alton about Deuteronomy 28 and 68. Because even after that defeat that he took from the brother Kedar on the 400-year prophecy, Alton still thought that it was meek to come and actually talk about Deuteronomy 28 and 68 as if he had some type of leverage in that conversation. Now, so the brother asks, what's better, to be given unto the hands of someone who's going to brutally mistreat you, like the Most High said they would, or try to get out of it by offering yourself to someone to work for them. But God said no one would buy them because the Most High decreed disaster for them. And I could agree with that. But Alton's response was this. Now, show me during the transatlantic slave trade that blacks offered themselves as slaves and no one bought them. All right, so then my response, here I come in, and I was already dealing in this conversation beforehand. I had actually said to Alton, well, you know, there's not always literal Egypt. You have spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah and Egypt mentioned in Revelations. All right, now, I say that's the translation you are reading from. The King James says they would be sold as bondmen and bondwomen. And Alton's response is, so the KJV contradicts the ESV and the NIV. Are they saying different things? And my response is, absolutely. They are saying different things. This is one of the reasons why some people who study the Bible choose one translation over another. The key is understanding which translation is okay or accurate, right? Now, moving forward. This was Alton's response. You do know the NIV and the ESV is more accurate than the KJV. Most scholars agree because the KJV is the received text or Textus Repsitus, which he spelled it wrong. And the NIV and the ESV is from the Leviticus text, meaning that they translated, the translations are based on every manuscript that we have to date and accurately translated, unlike the KJV, which was translated from the manuscripts we have access to today. All right. So I said, would you be so much, would it be too much to ask the names of these scholars that say the ESV and the NIV are more accurate than the KJV? Not all of them, just some reputable ones. And Alton comes out of the box with a white supremacist or definitely a Eurocentric dude, James White. He said James White is big on this topic. He has a book called The King James Controversy. He also has done debates on this topic. And then I asked the question. I say, is this the same James White who supported Jeff Durbin's racist remarks against Eric Mason and the woke church? So, you know, before I move on, it's interesting though. Eric Mason is a good case study when it comes to those who go off the plan of white supremacy, and when you don't do what you're supposed to do or what they elected you to do, what happens to you. All right. So I haven't heard from Eric Mason anymore. Only time we heard about Eric Mason is when he was saying something about Israelites. But the moment he started talking about the injustices in the black community with his quote unquote woke church, you know, then James White and Jeff Durbin and all the other white supremacists within Christianity had a problem with him, and Eric Mason disappeared. No more hearing from Eric Mason anymore. All right. So, but to move on, and just before I move on, one more thing. That just shows you, if you don't push their agenda, then they don't want you in their circle. All right. And that's how we got to be also. You know, we're also willing to accept everybody and to act like anybody else validates our work. These white supremacists and these Christians don't validate our work. They coming for us because their churches are emptying because of what the Most High is saying. All right. So you pushing the Most High's word, just keep pushing the Most High's word. Don't worry about being accepted by Christians, those who support Eurocentric Christianity or Christianity period, because it's all Eurocentric. He was not called Christians in the Bible. All right. Mashiach didn't call us Christians. The Most High didn't call us Christians. The Most High called us Israel. And that's the name that I'm sticking to. Not a byword that a man gave me. But to move on. Alton replies that that's subjective. Hold on, Alton replies that that's suggestive. That's subjective. All I'm saying is check the information on the KJV. If not, then that's on you. And I said, no doubt. I would check him out to see his thoughts on the matter. So then he gives me the link. So here's my reply. Right? I didn't watch the link that he sent me. All right? What I did do is before I go to anybody, I do my own research and I do my own fact checks. Right? So the first thing I said is let's go to the Septuagint. All right? And let's see what James White has to say on the Septuagint also, because the Septuagint says the same thing that the KJV says on Deuteronomy 28 and 68. It says that they would be sold, not that they would sell themselves. All right. So I say, Alton, James White says we should default or ascribe to the Septuagint when studying the Bible. And the Septuagint translation of Deuteronomy 28 and 68 says the same thing that the KJV translation, as the same as the KJV translation, right? And then I said, and the Most High shall bring thee back to Egypt again in ships by the way of which I said, thou shalt not see it again, and ye shall be sold there to your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and none shall buy you. And I say, notice it says, ye shall be sold. It does not say, you shall sell yourselves. This speaks to the point that the understanding of buy is speaking about redeeming one out of servitude, because it has already been stated that they were sold. According to Hebrew customs, one can only be redeemed by purchasing their freedom via family member paying or themselves or the year of Jubilee. This scripture speaks to the narrative of Joel 3 and 6. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. Joel 3 and 7. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and return your recompense upon your own head. And I will sell your sons and daughters into the hands of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabian men, or to the Sabian, to a people far off, for the Most High have spoken it. All right, now let's move forward. Let's see Alton's response. And he says, James White didn't imply that at all. And then I said, in what video am I speaking on? Because he just assumed that I was talking about the video that he sent. So I said, in what video am I speaking on? Are you sure you want to do this? Or do you want to humble down and just say, I had no idea he said that? Willful ignorance is not a merit. All right. And then he says, the video I shared concerning the KJV. And I said, no, that's not the video. I was talking about where he said we should default to the Septuagint. All right. And he says, I would like to see that video. So I send him the link. Right. And so I send him the link, and he comes in. He says, actually, James White said, actually, what James White says about the Septuagint is that the KJV is mostly translated from that. Nowhere does he imply that we use that as a standard, validating the KJV as the ultimate reading of the Bible. If you actually watch the video, he totally contradicts what you are implying right now. Right? So now I said, no, he did not. He said early church fathers deferred to the Septuagint and that it was translated from the earliest manuscripts. He said we should, and I quote, study the Hebrew, look into the Greek Septuagint. And I said, now stop lying. And I said, you know, Christ was persecuted and crucified by liars, right? And then that's when the other brother comes in and he said, bro, that's Septuagint killing them. The same way the Septuagint said Egypt and Canaan, and he didn't want to accept it, but even his favorite scholars gave the thumbs up to it. All right, so at that point, Alton had nothing left to say. As you can see, he did not engage me any further on that because he got destroyed on it. All right, so that's one of the interesting things that you'll find with these Christians, that they don't have any understanding on what the scriptures say because they refuse to study the book as a whole. You coming in here and you're trying to come at me about Deuteronomy 28 and 68. You're trying to come at Israel about Deuteronomy 28 and 68, but you have no idea what you're talking about. Hold on. You have no idea what you're talking about, and you're running your mouth based off of Eurocentric understanding. And that's something that it's easy to combat if you know the scriptures. Right? So, with that being said, this has been another quick hitter by me. I want to allot maybe 5 minutes for brothers and sisters to ask some questions. Peace and blessings, brother Kadar and brother Eric. Hope you brothers doing good, man. If you get a chance, man, you check out the intro I did with your boy Alton on here. I should play it again for you guys, but I don't. But if we have any questions, I got a minute. I got 5 minutes to answer questions real quick before I'm out. Tell you what I'll do. While I'm waiting for the questions, I'll play that intro again for you, brother Kadar and brother Eric. I'm gonna play that intro for you again.
Look at this. Somebody come look at this. Look at this. Somebody come and look at this.
Indeed, brother, that replacement theology is definitely deceptive. You know, Christianity is riddled with it. Because Alton's really just trying to get some clout, really. You know, he's going to get the wrong kind of attention messing with us. But hey, you know, we're not really here to appease the Alton. You know, we're not here to appease to him. We're just here to make sure that those who may be hearing him or get that bug in the ear, that we can refute that so they can stay on the straight and narrow path. You know, and that's all it's really about. You know, making sure that we do the will of the Most High. You know. But with that being said, I want to say shalom and blessings to everybody. I hope everybody have a blessed day. You know, don't let this kingdom wear you down. Keep hope and faith in the Most High. Follow Follow the Mashiach according to what's written, and out of your belly shall flow rivers of living water. All right? Love you all. Peace and blessings.